Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Discovery webinar. I am so excited to walk you through our newest module in the anger management series called Stress, Trauma, Post-Traumatic Stress, and Building Emotional Resilience. Let's begin with a brief description of the module. So in this module, participants are introduced to the body's natural reactions to stress. Participants explore different types of trauma and learn about post-traumatic stress disorder. By exploring different types of trauma, participants gain an understanding on how trauma impacts lives directly and indirectly. This module provides practical tools to strengthen emotional resiliency. The purpose of the module is for participants to learn the difference between stress, including the body's natural fight, flight, and freeze responses, types of trauma, and post-traumatic stress, and to also better understand how trauma can impact our lives with the end goal of exploring how to build resilience and present moment awareness. By completing this module, the goal is for participants to achieve a few main objectives. So one of them is the ability to explore bodily responses to stress and understand the differences between stress and trauma. They will reflect on activation responses and stress impacts on the body. They'll define trauma as a state of overwhelm and response to an inability to integrate an event or events. They'll identify how trauma manifests personally and over time, and they'll also recognize the importance of building resilience to heal and protect against future trauma. Participants will be using a variety of skills, including emotional regulation, distress tolerance, mindful approaches, emotional awareness. They'll foster self-empathy and compassion, and they'll also be using cognitive restructuring. These skills will be exercised through the four main topics of the module, which are understanding stress in the body, activation responses, understanding trauma and its impacts, building resilience, and post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic stress disorder. So I guess there's 5 topics instead of 4. Now, Hub modules use the following key elements in their curriculum design. These elements include check-in activities, dialogue prompts, art-based activities, mindfulness practices, just to name a few, but the best way to showcase the key elements is through the module itself. So let's go ahead and dive into the module demo. Great, so here we are on the Hub platform. I'll just give you a reminder on how to get to the module from the main dashboard. So today we're going to go into the professional development portal, and we'll be accessing the peace and justice theme. From there, you'll see our table of contents through the study modules button. And we're going to go ahead into the anger management and emotional resilience theme. And this is where you can find the module we'll be looking at today. And we'll dive right in. We'll start by selecting the Begin Module button. And we begin by introducing the participant to what they will learn throughout their process in the module. We also begin with our check-in or a dialogue prompt. I find this really helps get the participants oriented with the facilitator or maybe other participants that are joining. And it also has them feeling more comfortable sharing with everyone else who is participating. Rules of engagement allow the participants to set ground rules for the program. The facilitator should go around the room and have everyone share an idea. In my experience, sometimes the participants are a little more reluctant to share in the beginning, so we do have a handy tool to access some suggestions through the light bulb icon in the top right corner of the page. So a good way to get participants to share in the beginning is to maybe have everyone share in a circle format. We're now introduced to our first topic that dives into what stress is and also where it may have come from. Here we are introduced to journal moments. Now, these prompt the user to reflect on the content that they are learning as they go along. You'll see a handful of these throughout each hub module. And following the demo, I'll show you the corresponding journal where participants will be writing or drawing their answers. And then from there, we are introduced to automatic responses, which are fight, flight, and freeze. Users are able to click on each title to get a little bit more information on which automatic response is. And then on the next page, we are given information on where these responses come from and why we have them in the first place. So this is a sharing activity. You'll see throughout the module, there are a few discussion questions that promote interaction between the participants. This is where participants can voluntarily share their answers, or they can share in a circle format. If they choose to write or draw their answers in their journal, that is totally fine too. So I'm going to jump ahead to introduce some other topics to you. And just a reminder, in the module, you're given a table of contents button in the center console here. So here we're introduced to the types of trauma, where we learn in depth about the various forms of trauma, including post-traumatic stress disorder. And again, participants can select the card to view more information. Great. And then in this module, we're also given a number of fantastic resources. So here we have the importance of self-soothing. And this is a PDF document that goes into detail on some activities that can help calm the body and the brain. You're also given a copy of this in each journal as well. And also in this module, we do include some mindfulness exercises. We realize that exploring these topics can sometimes bring up some unfavorable emotions, such as stress. So this exercise is a way to show participants how powerful and useful the practice of mindfulness and using the breath can be. So you'll be able to access the activity by just pressing this play button here. It is 10 minutes long. However, I highly recommend that you check it out through the professional development portal so you can give it a try for yourself. It's absolutely wonderful. And we also have an excellent take-home practice that can be found in the journal, and I'll show you what that looks like in the journal shortly. And then we always end our modules with a check-out activity. So similar to the check-in discussion, we have a way to sort of have the users reflect on the content that they learned in the module. Great. And then just a friendly reminder, in the professional development portal, you just have to select yourself as the person who viewed and sampled the module. But when working with clients, you will have to record the client that you worked with. And we're just going to go back to that table of contents one more time because we have a wonderful package of digital resources that you as the facilitator have access to in order to deliver the modules with confidence. So we'll start with the guide here. So the Facilitator Guide is a PDF that is detail-oriented and focuses on the anger management module that you're about to deliver to a client. They go, I'll just scroll down here. I'll show you that they go page by page and give instructions and discussion points, which I think is the best part of the guide. Because it contains a script, and this allows you to follow along with what the participants are seeing on their screens. And you're able to read aloud the content that needs to be delivered on each page. You're also given instructions on what to do next, whether it is going to the next page or engaging the participants in a discussion, which you are also given examples of. Now, if I scroll back to the top here, you are also given some background information on the module, the same information that I shared with you at the beginning of the training today. But as a facilitator, I do think it's important for you to know this information so that you can deliver the module with confidence in the content, and so that you also have a starting off point to determine if the participants are meeting the goals of the module. Great, so now that we've gone over the guide, I'll show you our corresponding journal. So this is absolutely beautifully designed. So again, the journals correspond with the journal moment pages that were shown in the module demo. Each participant should have a physical copy of the journal before you begin facilitation, so that they can write or draw their own answers as the session moves forward. And I'll just skip ahead to the end here to highlight my favorite parts of the journal. So participants can color throughout the module if that helps them focus. They also have an option to write notes. And we also have a great alternative resource section. So if your participant or your client has extra questions, or they would like maybe some resources to help with PTSD or addictions, or they're in crisis, they have this page to refer to. We also have that wonderful self-soothing activity resource for them to take home. And then this is their take-home activity. This is totally optional if they choose to do it, but it's nice that they have that option. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Natalie, so please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about programming or if you have any questions on how we can best support you in your hub delivery. I'll leave my contact information up on the screen for a moment in case you need to copy it down. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day.